So I've been a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt for 1 year now. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the 4th of July and Christmas tend to be promotion seasons. You'll start seeing a whole lot more promotions pop up on your timeline. Uh, but let's talk about it. 1 year as a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt. Yeah, I'll get a venti ice mocha and a venti cup of ice.
Venti iced mocha and a venti cup of ice. Anything else for you?
That'll be it.
All right, I'll see you after.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to show you a hack. So if you're like me, I'm always battling caffeination versus hydration, and I hate plastic straws. So I'm going to show you a little hack. If you order a cup of ice at Starbucks, it comes with this little sippy cup on it instead of the dome. So what we're going to do is we're going to stay hydrated. We're going to take our glass of ice. We're going to pour our ice mocha right inside. Right. And now we're battling hydration and caffeination with our sippy cup so we can toss out the paper straw. Cheers. So now that we're caffeinated and hydrated for the monsters of kids class, let's talk about the brown belt. Brown belt, exciting to get. It's cool. If it wasn't for owning a gym, I don't give a whole lot of credit to the belt. It's nice to be acknowledged, for sure. It's nice to get that stamp of approval from your coach, right? But man, does it change your jiu-jitsu? Not really. It's still training. It's still showing up every day. It's still doing all the things that you were doing before to get the brown belt, right? I do own a school. I do teach classes, so it's nice to have that, because if you don't, even if you've been training 10 years, I hit 10 years in March, so we're about 10 and a half years now. In any other occupation, you tell them that you've been doing something for 10 years, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, that dude's very qualified to be, in that position. But with jiu-jitsu, you tell somebody that you don't have a black belt or you don't have one of the really high belts, and they might question. And I mean, I get it. If you're coming into jiu-jitsu and you don't know better, or you're signing your child up for jiu-jitsu classes and they're not wearing a brown belt or a black belt, it's like, I wonder what's going on there. And I completely get that. So as far as owning a business, I needed it, and I need my black belt, and so I'm working towards that. But as far as like training and being a student and just learning jiu-jitsu, again, if you're not owning a gym or a studio, you're not trying to compete at the highest levels, man, just train. The belts really don't matter to the general practitioner. It feels good. It's good to be acknowledged by your coach. It's fun as a coach to acknowledge people. But nothing's really changed in the last year. Still doing all the same things that I was doing before. Still training, still rolling, still sparring, still doing all the things that I've been doing for the last 10 years, right? So it's nice to be acknowledged. It's nice to have that stamp of approval. It's nice to be, seen. But man, just train. That's really the bottom line in this whole thing, is just keep training, just keep doing your thing. And I don't know, me thinking forward at the black belt, again, it's gonna be cool to be acknowledged and wear the black belt, but I don't know if anything's gonna change when I get there. I saw a couple of my fellow training partners get black belts this 4th of July, and it's so awesome to see. And I don't know if it's the coaching aspect or like my personality, but man, I get so much more excitement out of other people's achievements like that by seeing training partners get promoted, or seeing like the kids get medals and wins at competitions. and you see that excitement in their eyes. That's always piqued my interest or my excitement way more than my personal promotions. When I promote a student, white to blue belt, or I just promoted my first purple belt. It was approved by black belts and all that. But I promoted him, he was homegrown from our studio. Started with me 5.5 years ago when we first opened up as a kickboxing studio with a jiu-jitsu club. And then it's kind of expanded from there. But yeah, that, giving him his purple belt was way more exciting than any belt that I've achieved. Watching the kids, or we had a competition recently at Grappling Industries, and seeing one of my students win competitions and win matches feels way better than any match that I could have ever won. And I think that's just the teacher, that coach aspect in me. And that's why I do it, right? I love this stuff. I love the sport. I love teaching. I love helping. I love inspiring people. And so that's what gets me excited. And my coach, Coach Michael, over at Esteem Jiu-Jitsu, we had a conversation a while back of me not caring so much about the belts. It's like, yeah, but you have to care, because you're going to be the one that gives them their belts. You need to get your black belt for them. And that's kind of what inspired me to really strive to get the black belt. And since then, I've gotten my brown, and we're a year into brown, so I probably have a couple more years at it. Keep grinding. But yeah, the path will unfold how it unfolds. I'll keep training, I'll keep teaching, and hopefully you join me along the way, and we'll have one of these conversations when I get there, I'm sure. Enjoy your Starbucks.